All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hey everybody, I am DJ Dank.
I am Andrew Roberts.
And this is Film Feud on Under the Golden Gate Live. And so this week we decided to go see the fifth estate. I almost want to call it the Fifth Element. But the Fifth Estate, which of course has the notoriety of being the lowest performing movie at the box office this year so far. And it tells the story of Wikileaks and what's the name of the guy? Solange?
Julian Assange.
We picked a movie with names. We got Cumberpatch too. This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, the director was Cumberbatch or Cumberbun or something.
No, that's the star. The director is Bill Condon, who had done one of the Twilight movies, and he also did Gods and Monsters. Which were good movies, yes. And this movie, of course, examines the whole WikiLeaks scandal, the leaking of government names, and all kinds of scandals, and has been pretty much maligned by the press for not being accurate. And I find it funny because there was another movie that came out at the beginning of the year that was the documentary about the WikiLeaks scandal, and pretty much the movie and the documentary are pretty much the exact same story. And I thought it was funny that they lauded the documentary and then they said the same things in the movie, and all of a sudden it was like a bunch of made up junk. So I don't know what's going on within the context of the movie. The movie itself kind of plays like like The Social Network meets All the President's Men. I myself personally enjoyed it because I have a journalism degree. I've been doing journalism for a long time, and I like the ideas that the movie brought up about what journalism is today and how it's changing through the internet, and with these people like Julian Assange being able to leak all this information as performing as somebody who's like from the press, so to speak. It does bring up a lot of thorny issues, including people's safety, and then also all the issues of truth in the story, because lots of people are saying that this and that aren't true or accurate. But for me, the whole movie itself is about us having to come to terms with this new technology and what it means for us. Because the thing about this whole thing is it's very gray. If you even see the documentary, I mean, you know, it's interesting because sometimes when a movie is, am I talking too long?
Are you nearly finished, or?
No, I was about halfway through.
Oh, shit.
No, I'll wrap it up. But anyway, I just found it very interesting and very thought-provoking. And so I do recommend it. And if it's true or not, I don't really care, because it's more about the story and the fact that a movie has been written by people and has starred with actors, and it's not a real movie to begin with. I mean, as in like truth. But the ideas behind the movie I thought were provocative. And yourself?
Well, that brings up a good point. I thought the movie was incredibly well-directed, well made. I actually enjoyed the acting in this better than Gravity.
Oh, definitely.
You know, like,
that's what's so funny is this movie's just being maligned and everything. It's a better movie than Gravity.
Yeah, well, but the thing was, it didn't really have any meat for the gravy. Like and I was reading online that the actual problem here was that the makers of the movie couldn't get in touch or couldn't work firsthand with Julian Assange. So a lot of the holes in the story are prevalent because they didn't actually have proper access.
From the point of view of a different guy, the Daniel Bruhl character.
Yeah.
Is who sold his story, obviously.
What, David Bruhl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on his book, so.
Well, I still think that Julian Assange has come out and said that the movie is a wash and that it doesn't really represent him adequately.
Right.
He's actually so against the movie, he released his own movie about WikiLeaks the very weekend that they released The Fifth Estate.
Yeah, it's doing really well too, huh?
Well, but the problem with that is it has a lot of information and it's really true to life, but it's made by, you know, a cameraman essentially,
right,
and 4 of his minions, 2 of which happen to be incredibly attractive.
Well,
how did that happen?
Doesn't hurt, does it?
Being attractive is better than Visa. It's really accepted everywhere.
Well, it's just interesting because the thing about him is that who knows what's right or what's wrong. He's obviously a tormented, tortured type character from his upbringing and his time that he spent as being a cult member with growing up and all that.
That was interesting.
And so it obviously he's created same way with The Social Network. Sometimes these things are created not by the nicest guys in the world. I mean, you know, great change sometimes can be done by people who are jerks. And you know, and who's to say whether or not what he did is great or not? At the time will tell. Bradley Manning as well. We don't know the answer to that yet.
But I still don't like. I think that Julian Assange and the whole WikiLeaks story is incredibly fascinating, and I'm still waiting. If they could have taken the information from Media Stand, which is his own personal movie that he produced,
That's the one he made. Okay.
and had it made by a proper filmmaker, like the people who made The Fifth Estate, you would have had a combination that would have just blown the lid off. Because so many people find this story fascinating, but it's still a story to this day that's been untold. I'm not happy with any of the 3 movies that have been released. There was Inside WikiLeaks. I wasn't happy with that. I kind of felt it was a corporate-backed character assassination.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like it either.
Yep. The Fifth Estate
I like this one because it kind of played like a thriller. And if you like that kind of thriller political, it's smart. It's about ideas.
I mean, if
I wish I had some computer experts to tell me how accurate all the gizmo stuff was going.
It is kind of hard to make people on computers seem interesting.
It is, and they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it was
a little long.
It was a good movie, but I'm still waiting for the movie that really combines the story of Julian Assange with incredible filmmaking, and that could really lift the lid on this whole bag of worms.
But I also really liked all the actors. You had Benedict Cumberpatch, who of course was Khan in the Star Trek movies, and Daniel Bruhl, who I wasn't particularly familiar with, but I liked him. I thought he was really good. Mm-hmm. And David Thewlis is in it, one of my favorite character actors of all time.
Speaking of which, if you get a chance, see the movie Naked.
That's a good one.
If you want to see it.
And that one's from like, what, 89, 90, something like that?
That's a true cinema
and,
classic.
Dan Stevens, who many of you people will know from Downton Abbey. And then Stanley Tucci and Laura Linney. It has a good cast. But I enjoyed it.
All right, so we're going
to... For its accuracy, I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. It's more about the ideas behind it than the actual accuracy of the movie.
So are we going to do currency? How much money do you think that this movie is worth to see? And where would you see it?
Oh, I liked it. I think it'll do a lot better when it's on streaming Netflix and see it with some kind of subscription thing.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously a giant flop at the box office. It'll be rediscovered.
Uh-huh. So I would say, again, The Fifth Estate, wait for Netflix, and if you're a loser and don't have any life, then you should watch this movie.
In the theater, just like me.
I
was there with 2 other people.
Just like both of us. And as far as Media Stand, the WikiLeaks release documentary, wait for like a burnt DVD at a flea market somewhere, and
there you go.
If a foreigner offers you $2 for it, maybe take it home.
So this has been Film Feud. I'm DJ Dank.
I'm Andrew Roberts.
And we'll see you later. Woo! Thank you. Okay.